I am extremely proud and excited to finally and officially announce Overwatch 2.
November 1st, 2019 was the official birthday of Overwatch 2, and many people expected it to be the same day that Overwatch 1 would have been laid to rest, right? Now obviously that wouldn't be the case, but I don't think a lot of people would have expected Overwatch 2 to release in the latter half of 2022, nearly 3 years after the official unveiling of the game. And on that same token, I don't think anyone would expect Overwatch 2 to be a success given the fact that only the multiplayer was releasing nearly 3 years later. And that is ultimately the biggest question in regards of Overwatch 2 in the year 2022. Was it a success? Well, to help answer that question, we gotta take it back 12 months earlier, at the beginning of 2022, where Overwatch 1 was probably at its lowest point with so many problems that were left unanswered because Overwatch 2 was the answer. The problem of no new added heroes was gonna be solved with the release of Overwatch 2, even though at this point we only knew of one hero that was supposed to be released with Overwatch 2, and that was Sojourn. And then another issue with no new content or events or cosmetic items was also gonna be solved because Overwatch 2 was gonna bring it, hopefully, right? And that all perfectly segues into what was culminating into the biggest problem that Overwatch 1 was experiencing, which was the lack of communication from Blizzard. We didn't know when Overwatch 2 was going to be released, and we didn't even really know what Overwatch 2 was going to be. Was it going to be PvE and PvP? Was it just going to be multiplayer? Was it just going to be a couple of heroes added into the game and a couple of maps? What was this new chapter really going to be to help bring Overwatch 1 out of the pits of despair? And I would say those are the three problems that Overwatch 1 was experiencing that we would continue to see even in the beginning half of 2022. With the Lunar event, we only got 2 legendary skins, and with the Archives event, we didn't even get that! And then the anniversary event, the event that's supposed to celebrate the original birth of Overwatch, was then remixed to rehash already released skins just with a different color palette. God save this game. In a year where Overwatch was supposed to save itself from its darkest times seemed the most bleakest because the problems that continue to come up year after year were still happening even 6 months before the release of its game. So you'd be hard-pressed and downright crazy to believe that Overwatch 2 would have been a success if you were just to look at the track record of Overwatch 1 in the year 2022, given the lack of events, given the lack of heroes, given the lack of communication, and they continued to be problems in the beginning half of 2022. And when all hope seemed to be lost and the lights started to dim, Blizzard decided to do something that nobody would have expected them to do in the past couple of years, which was listen to the community and finally give us Overwatch 2 content. In the month of April, we not only got our first trailer of the brand new hero Sojourn, the newest hero to be released ever since Echo back in 2020, but along with that, we also got information of the brand new beta that everybody could participate in as long as you're on PC. And it was at that moment, even if it was just for a second, that faith was restored in the future for Overwatch 2 because all the problems that we originally experienced went away. And while the beta wasn't perfect by any means, it was still a welcome addition compared to what Blizzard was bringing us in the past couple years, which was nothing. We got a brand new hero, we got brand new maps, a new game mode, and just overall brand new content to help us enjoy the Overwatch franchise because we know Overwatch 1 wasn't doing that, and eventually the beta came to an end, and then we went with the sad reality that we had to go back to Overwatch 1. Oh God, no! I just don't know how much longer I could play Overwatch 1 with these remix events. Well, you wouldn't have to wonder long because Overwatch's 1 journey is finally coming to an end with the release of Overwatch's 2 release date reveal trailer marking the beginning of Overwatch's 2 journey with a montage of old heroes and new heroes coming together to welcome in this brand new chapter of Overwatch 2 that was gonna be coming out on October 4th, 2022. The release date reveal trailer not only brought nostalgia of what Overwatch used to make you feel back in 2016 and 2017 whenever you saw new content and new trailers get released for this game, but what it also brought us was hope, was faith in this franchise that we all used to love at least at one point in our lives. But unfortunately, we were still gonna have to wait for Overwatch 2 to finally come out, which meant we had to play Overwatch 1 in the meantime. Oh God, no! We would get another beta sprinkled in with the release of Jungle Queen, so now we got 2 new heroes to look forward to with the full release on October 4th. And with the end of the second beta for Overwatch 2, we had one final event, and what better way to send off a game that changed the lives of many than with another mediocre event with the 3rd anniversary remix event. It was obvious that this was supposed to be a quiet send-off for a game that many people love. And with Overwatch's one final moment slowly ticking away, with a quiet little whimper, it finally shut down its servers on October 3rd, 2022, laying to rest a game that was revolutionary for its time, but many people forgotten over the past couple years in preparation for its brand new release that would soon take place. I think I've done enough explain to show you that Overwatch 1 was a complete failure in 2022. But Overwatch 1 had to fail in this year, and frankly for the past couple years, for Overwatch 2 to even have a chance to succeed. And soon enough, we'll be able to fully judge that on October 4th, 2022, only 27 hours after Overwatch 1 was laid to rest, because Overwatch 2 was finally released. Oh, a lot of people were having issues trying to get into the next chapter of Overwatch because there were just so many people trying to log in all at once. And even though this might seem backwards to say, that's a success in my book. Yes, it sucked not being able to log in right away, and yes, it was beyond frustrating not having all your skins and your stats transfer over from Overwatch 1, but from what I've seen, all of that was fixed for the most part. And what we want for Overwatch, or at least the people that wanted Overwatch to succeed, finally happened. We got Overwatch 2, we got the new heroes, we got the new content, new maps, new game modes, but more importantly, we got people playing Overwatch. But that honeymoon stage quickly faded away after a couple weeks, because remember those problems that I talked about beforehand that were birthed because of Overwatch 2? They started to rear its ugly head. Besides the login issues and account issues and even reward drops, we started to see other problems like unbalanced heroes, specifically with Sojourn, where it was very reminiscent of Brigitte and the Goats meta. We also saw the beginning of outrageously priced microtransactions in the form of skins and skin bundles, but most importantly, still something that we're experiencing at the end of 2022 is a broken ranked system. We saw Grandmaster players being ranked at Bronze, we saw Silver players on the same team with Masters, and we also started to see new players on the same teams as veteran players that have 6 years worth of experience. And what a lot of people will do is look at the past 2 months of Overwatch 2 and deem it to be a failure. And while I don't think it's perfect by any stretch of the imagination, and there are so many issues that they have to fix, Overwatch 2 is far more successful than Overwatch 1 ever was in 2022. A lot of people, myself included, had high expectations for Overwatch 2, and while a lot of people wanted it to be perfect, at least in the case of me, I didn't think that there would be issues that weren't problems in Overwatch 1. And while I will give credit where credit's due, Blizzard is trying to do a much better job compared to how they handled things in Overwatch 1, where Brigitte was overtaking the meta for 6+ months. Sojourn only took it over for about 1.5 to 2 months. And the broken rank system, there was communication on their end explaining why rank is so buggy right now, and they're working to fix it in the year 2023. And specifically when it comes to other content that is missing, they're also talking about it, specifically with PvE. A lot of people look at Overwatch 1 with rose-tinted colored glasses and don't really realize just how awful that time really was. And maybe that was due to the lack of effort to try to keep Overwatch 1 alive from Blizzard's end, that if they just would have put in more effort in Overwatch 1, that it would have been okay, and things would be a lot better than how it is right now in Overwatch 2. But that's just not the reality. It's just not. Overwatch 1 had its problems that wouldn't be fixed. Overwatch 2 does have its problems, yes, but maybe this is just me being naive, but eventually will be fixed. Overwatch 2 has only had a couple of months, and they have shown lots of improvement compared to how they handled Overwatch 1. In the year 2023, where PvE is supposed to come out, where lots more updates and bug fixes and patches are supposed to come out, new heroes, new battle passes. I didn't even really talk about the battle pass this much in this video at all. It just goes to show that the Blizzard team is at least trying now with Overwatch 2 compared to Overwatch 1. So to answer that question, was Overwatch a success in Overwatch 2? Well, like I mentioned before, it was a complete failure. But when we talk about Overwatch 2, it's a far bigger success than I could have ever imagined when you compare it to Overwatch 1. And that might not be saying much when you compare it to other games, but when you just compare it to itself, it's at least a stepping stone higher than where it was beforehand. And it can only go up from here in 2023. And hopefully they can do that. But let me know what you guys think about Overwatch in 2022 and if you think it was a success or not. But I love you guys. Thank you guys for watching. More Overwatch 2 videos to come in 2023. And bye.